Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope that everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Where I am right now in the U.S., it is currently Black Friday. Nothing that I need out there, though, to be going out there and getting trampled. Well, I don't think I'll be getting trampled anyway, but Cyber Monday, they have coming around. It's not like the 90s where you need to go out there and that's like the only way to get stuff. There's nothing that I want that bad. Nothing I really need that bad, but it is what it is. All right, today what I'm going to be talking about is, pretty much confidence within yourself and sharing passions with people. You know, Sometimes you feel like you have to hold back exactly what you're feeling because so many people around you are not ready to receive that light. You know, for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you, that you often may feel misunderstood by people because the confidence that you have within yourself, because you'd be surprised to see how many people try to tear you down, even more surprised to see who it actually is. you know I mean, from a young age, I've had dudes like twice my age, triple my age, jealous for what? My my opinion, if you're an older gentleman and you're jealous of someone, you know so much younger than you, rather than giving them insight or game, you're a loser. That's the way that I truly feel. You know, and I'll tell you why. I'll give you an example. When I first got out of high school and went into college, I entered when I was about 19. There was a dude who was like, I want to say close to his 40s. You know, at first he seemed like a cool dude. When you think you get out of high school, okay, I'm around the adults and maybe they'll start thinking like adults. That's not the case at all. This dude, I heard from various sources of what he was talking about. Face to face, it's really pathetic to see how people are, that they can't be genuine, be exactly how they portray themselves to be. Very, very pathetic, especially from a grown man. You know, this guy come around. I couldn't believe the things that he would ask me. He was just like, "How many friends you have on Facebook?" I was like, "Yo, man, I don't even know how many friends that I have on Facebook. What are you asking me that for?" And then I heard around other circles, he is saying all different type of junk, talking about what I do in class when we never shared a class together. I mean, this dude is like gossiping like a high school girl when he's almost like 40. Mind you, I was 19. That says a lot more about him. One day I was having lunch with some older ladies and he came to the table. He's like, "How do you know her? How do you know him?" Like, all like freaking out, like it was like the end of the world. Maybe for him, but not for me. So you can't even really share your passions with folks. You start telling them things, and you know, they, some may even really be supportive. I mean, to your face at least. You know, the thing is, within life, you want to share things. Truthfully, me as a person, I love to hear about other people's passions. And I enjoy sharing, my passions with people. But I mean, when people start acting like that, then you kind of go into a mode and kind of be a little bit closed off. And that leads people to misunderstanding you. Because they expect you to be a certain way. If they perceive you to be a good looking person, then you not speaking and interacting with them may make them think that you're arrogant, or if you don't feel like speaking or conversing. Because, you start seeing the same cycle and the same things from people. You're not going to put forth the energy and effort to interact with every single individual, you know, because you're seeing the same thing from the same types of folks. And it becomes a rarity to see something different that's actually genuine. So they start titling things, and then, you know, this is ones that I find the most hilarious. A person wants to tell you what you think about yourself without ever having a conversation with you. They'll be like, I'll never forget when I was back in high school. We a couple of different folks standing around near like the lunchroom near the heater. We went to school together, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's one dude just walking by, and a dude's like, I don't like that dude. And I was like, do you know who he is? He's like, nah. I was like, have you ever spoken to him? He's like, nah. I was like, okay, well, what's your reason? He's like, I just don't like that dude. I was like, okay, well, you've never seen him, never spoke to him, never had a conversation, nothing. But you decided that you didn't like that dude. I feel like people like that, that's their own, insecurity. That's your own personal insecurity because you haven't spoken to that dude. And the fact that you're taking your time and energy to just look at this dude, out of all the other things you could be doing, talking about, thinking about, you're like, this dude right here, I don't like him for what? I think it's rather peculiar, truthfully. So a lot of times, oftentimes, people do get misunderstood. Because a lot of people, regardless of who you are, regardless of what you do, people are going to have their own interpretations of you. Whether it be a certain look you have, sadly, this day and age, your color, which is should have as much relevance as your eye color. You know, I posted on another post the other day, about 2 days ago, that I feel like I'm a spirit inside of a body. That happens to be black. Not that I don't, love and like everything about myself, but you know, that's the way that I feel. I view myself as a spirit. I don't put emphasis on other people. It's a shame that so many folks do this day and age. With all these different technologies and all different things that you can educate yourself on, they decide to be in like a primitive mind state and live their life in such an ignorant way. It's actually kind of sad. Another thing is that sharing your passions, it could be within your friends. I mean, I've had different friends, or so I thought. You kind of have to distance yourself. That's the reality of the fact. I had folks that I hung out with. One of the dudes said that, what, I'm your biggest hater. I used to think it was just jokes and stuff. And, I mean, as dudes, you just go around joking and stuff. And, I mean, that's all fun. I mean, it's what dudes do. You joke around, things like that. But, I mean, there's different levels between joking around. I mean, you listen to a person's speech and then, it just gets more hateful, and it just starts saying these off the wall, ridiculous, disrespectful stuff. There's like fine lines between things, you know? And then you just start saying like negative things over and over and over again. You realize that the level of the jokes just start changing, and they're not so much jokes anymore. And then it flows into the level of disrespect. You have to set boundaries with people. You know, it took me a while to learn that. You can't let your loyalty make you stupid. There's a fine line between loyalty and stupidity. And, I feel I've learned that the hard way between certain folks. And what I've learned, a lot of the times you're kind of better by yourself because you have to take that certain time to learn things about yourself. Like, don't be afraid to walk alone sometimes, because that's when you learn the most about yourself. And then you put yourself back out there, and then that energy that you put out, you gravitate the right people towards you. Quality over quantity. A lot of people, especially in high school, you think that, you need to be around a bunch of people, this and that. But, even after high school, everyone kind of goes their own separate ways. you maintain some of the friends and you find out some of those people weren't even your friends at all, you know? And that's what I've seen over the course of time. But either way, the dude was telling me, "Oh, I'm your biggest hater," and the things that he was saying were just ridiculous. You could tell it was within his own self-esteem, how he felt, and it's kind of like a shame because you kind of feel somewhat betrayed over time because you gave this dude like game, whether it be your time or like your knowledge. You share your knowledge out there and project it towards them, and then you just keep on giving and giving, and then folks are just kind of ungrateful. Over the course of time, it just becomes ridiculous, and then those folks will turn around and tell you that you don't deserve what you have. I've been told I don't deserve what I have. I don't deserve my talents when I've literally given shoes off of my feet, shirts off of my back, in literal terms. I mean, between things that you couldn't buy, man, like loyalty, definite loyalty. You cannot buy that. I mean, seems like a lot of folks that these days they don't even know what the word means. I mean, it just kind of makes me feel like an outcast in comparison to people because the morals and the values that I have, that I hold myself to in certain standards, most people haven't even thought of it. And I'm talking about not just my age range, but people like double my age, triple my age. They're just not living their life that way. I feel like I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but let me know your input. And also, you guys can feel free to give me different subjects and things, and I'll try my best to give my input towards it. Another video down, no notes, anything. You guys have a wonderful day.